New 72 Radio, the voice, views, and visions of the collective.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Burger, and welcome to, I believe it's episode number 11 of Diva Talk. Today is January 4th, 2017, and I am pre-recording this show to be broadcast tomorrow night, January 5th at 7 p.m. Pacific. So I own a company called ComputerDiva, and we are in the business of repairing computers. So we have two different ways in which we can do that. The first one is where I call a break-fix model. Your computer breaks and I fix it. And the second one is called managed services, and I label that as Diva Care. Diva Care is a small little agent that resides on your computer, and for a small monthly fee, I put that agent on your computer and we provide you with your antivirus software, your weekly virus scans and weekly malware scans, and we clean up automatically whatever it is that's found. We also update your third-party software, and we have 111 pieces of third-party software that are eligible to be updated through Diva Care. We defrag your hard drives every other week, and we manage all of your Windows updates. Diva Care also comes with free phone support for any type of computer maintenance. If you call me with a question such as, how do I? That's probably not included in your maintenance phone support, just so everybody knows that. I am also a huge believer in what might be called universal life force energy, and I work with the angelic realm. I have at least 3 guardian angels with me at all times. In fact, there's probably a whole posse back there. Number 1, Archangel Michael, also known as Saint Michael, and he is the angel you pray to if your electronics are malfunctioning. Archangel Arya is the second one, and she is also a healer of technology. And the third is the goddess Athena. I also have a spirit guide named Jackie and a spirit guide named Rachel, and I partner with all of these whenever I'm working on technology. You can connect with me at www.computerdiva.biz. My YouTube channel is simply called ComputerDiva. On Instagram, I am ComputerDiva MJB. And on Facebook, I am ComputerDiva WA, which stands for Washington State. So this show, like I said, is being pre-recorded, so I'm not going to give you all the phone numbers to use to call in if you have a question. We're not taking live questions in this particular show tonight. Diva Talk is produced by a company called New 72 Media, and the technology diva herself that works behind the scenes producing this show is Kelly Lair, and she is a whiz at making sure that this show runs smoothly and is presented professionally to all of you once it's posted on her YouTube channel and shared on my YouTube channel. So Kelly, thank you so much. So I wanted to talk to you all a little bit tonight about, what's been happening in the world of ComputerDiva. So first of all, Happy New Year. We are at the beginning of a brand new year, 2017, and I know a lot of people are really glad that 2016 is over with. There was a lot of drama in 2016, and I'm kind of glad that drama is over, although we are in for more drama this year. But 2016 was probably one of my best years, personally and professionally. So I'm very grateful that 2016 happened, that it took place. And I'm just very grateful for all the experiences I had. So with that said, Happy New Year, everyone. What's happening in the world of ComputerDiva? First of all, I'd like to say that we transitioned from 2016 to 2017, and I had no rate increases in my prices. I am remaining at the prices that I established on October 1st, which is when I did my last rate hike. My hourly fee for on-site work is $95 an hour, and there's a 1-hour minimum. My fee for remote work is $80 an hour, and there's a half-hour minimum on that. So those will remain at that rate for the rest of this year, and absolutely no decisions are even being contemplated for next year, 2018. So we are at the next 12 months of the pricing I just gave you. So what type of work am I doing right now, or have I been doing lately? Well, at the end of the year is typically when a lot of my business customers are trying to offload cash and get a tax deduction. So they contacted me, and I did a lot of new technology purchasing last week. So last week I did, just heard a bell, last week I did an install of a new laptop and a docking station for a new client. And this week I have 4 new computers to install. Here it is Wednesday evening already, and I haven't installed them yet. But I will be installing 2 on Friday for a new customer, which should be a lot of fun. And I have 2 computers that might be installed tomorrow. They might not be installed until next week. I'm in no rush for those. They've been purchased. They've been paid for. I just need to find the right timing for those. Let's see. We are also going to be installing a new server for a client. We're transitioning a 5-year-old server out of the technology network for this particular client, and we'll be bringing in a new server. And I will be doing a rather large hosted Exchange email conversion to Office 365, hopefully sometime in February. So that's kind of what I've got going on right now, plus the usual Diva Care work that is keeping me really busy. Tons of emails, phone calls from clients with all sorts of questions and problems and issues. So that's kind of what's going on in my world right now. We are at the end stages of Mercury Retrograde. And for those of you who don't know what that is, Mercury is pretty much the divine messenger of the gods, and he rules over communication. And when the planet Mercury goes retrograde, it means that in the sky, it appears to be going backwards in its rotation around the sun instead of going forwards. And with that being the case, whenever a planet goes retrograde, you're going to see its aspects kind of go backwards. So with Mercury being the planet of communication, right now, during a Mercury retrograde, we see a lot of communications issues. We see a lot of technology issues. So we have 4 more days of this particular Mercury retrograde. Excuse me. And I did a quick lookup on the internet. Let's see, Mercury retrograde 2017. Let's just take a look at when it will start again. The next one will be, oh darn it, I don't see it here. Anyway, it's going to be in a couple of months. We have 3 or 4 Mercury retrogrades a year. So I will give you guys plenty of advance notice for when the next one comes. Basically, when it goes into retrograde, you just really need to be aware of your technology and treat it extra special, treat it with a lot of love, and believe it or not, technology does respond to that. It's the energy that you give off. If you're giving off some negative energy, your technology is going to respond to that in a negative way. And if you're giving off a lot of positive energy, your technology will also respond in a very positive way to that. So just be very cognizant of the energy that you're giving off when you're working with your computers. So with that said, I had a call from a client before Christmas, and he called me and he was kind of in a panic. And I said, you know, what's going on? And he basically told me that he's a Quicken user, Quicken personal finance software on his computer. And he told me that something really strange happened when he downloaded transactions into his register. And he started doing a little bit of research and discovered that in the past several months, Quicken, who used to be owned by Intuit, which is the same company that brings us QuickBooks for businesses, small businesses, Intuit has sold their Quicken division to a company called HIG Capital. And HIG Capital is not an American-based company. It's actually a company based in India. And this particular client, when he called me, was a little panicked over that information. The fact that something strange was downloading into his bank register, into Quicken, and stuff that he didn't recognize. He called the credit card company, and they said that is not, those transactions were not on his account. And when he did the research and found out that Quicken is now owned by an Indian-based company, he got a little panicked because that's where a lot of the computer scammers are housed. So it was a little disconcerting to me because I did not know that Quicken had been sold. I had not heard that. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up that Quicken is now sold, owned by an Indian-based company, and my particular client was no longer comfortable with having his financial information stored in a database on a server owned by this new company. Really don't know if that means anything or not, but anyway, I thought I'd throw it out there. Kind of an interesting call for me to have to take. Excuse me. So the next thing I want to talk to you about, something that was, I dealt a lot with probably in November and December of last year, had to do with a particular Windows 10 update. In particular, that update was KB, which stands for Knowledge Base 3012972. This was a feature upgrade to Windows 10. It was version 1607, and it caused a headache, a lot of issues. I had a lot of clients who had issues with this update. In particular, there were a couple of things. It took forever to install this update. I mean, hours. People would call me and say, my computer has been stuck on this update screen for like 12 hours, and they didn't know what to do. And so on some of them, we just let it go. It eventually worked its way through. On a couple of them, I said, okay, let's just shut off the computer and restart it. It went back to the upgrade. It eventually finished. The other issue that it caused, which was probably the worst issue, was it was breaking the Wi-Fi technology inside the computer so that the computer would no longer connect to the Wi-Fi devices in the home or office, and therefore no internet. I did a lot of research on this and found out about this issue and what was causing it, and came up with a fix. I didn't come up with the fix, but I found the fix on the internet, and it was pretty consistent. Those computers that I applied this fix to, the Wi-Fi came back. So rolling back to take the upgrade off really wasn't an option, because eventually that fix, or that knowledge base fix, what Microsoft calls a fix, would be coming back. So they'd just be in this pickle again. So rolling back to a previous date and time was not an issue as far as I was concerned. The good news is, my customers who are on DivaCare, the DivaCare portal blocked this particular update from actually being installed on their computer. So I just kind of want to say that's kind of one of the benefits of DivaCare, is the fact that we will blacklist updates if we think that they will be harmful to your computer. And there's a lot of technicians who are behind the scenes with DivaCare, and they do a lot of testing with these updates, and they will blacklist any update that they think is going to harm your computer. So that's the good news. One of the benefits of being a DivaCare subscriber. So talking about DivaCare, DivaCare has now been in operation since June 1st of 2016, so 7 months and change right now. We have, we have several dozen computers running on DivaCare right now. So a couple of the stats that I was running a couple of days ago that I found really interesting. Number one, on the DivaCare computers, we have installed 3,692 Windows updates. That's pretty phenomenal. And we've probably blacklisted 5 or 6 updates. Updates like the one I just talked about that could potentially break something on your computer. So done a lot of updating there. In terms of viruses, Diva Care has detected and cleaned up 57 viruses. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but a virus can be pretty damaging to a computer. So Diva Care has done its job. So I'm really proud of that fact. Now, the interesting statistic here is because everybody thinks viruses, but really what's more prevalent out there is malware. And I usually use those terms, malware and viruses, interchangeably because they're both damaging to your computer. They're slightly different, but they're both very damaging to your computer. Malware, in terms of malware that Diva Care has detected and cleaned from our Diva Care computers, 5,541 pieces of malware. And the cool thing about that is the anti-malware software runs behind the scenes. It does a weekly scan. Anything it finds, it quarantines and gets rid of. So my Diva Care customers usually don't even know that they've been hit with malware because the Diva Care software finds it and gets rid of it right away without them having to get into a pickle of, my computer's frozen, my computer's running slow, what do? I need to call ComputerDiva and get them out here to fix it or remote in to fix my computer. Diva Care just automatically takes care of it. So yay, Diva Care. So I was really, really pleased by these statistics that I ran, and Diva Care is going strong. We've installed, or actually scheduled to install, 3 computers this week. We did 1 yesterday, and we've got 2 more to go tomorrow. So it's going strong. So I'm really happy about that. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you all about was a type of technology that I'm just getting familiar with. And it all has to do with smart home technology. And I already have a little bit of smart home technology. For me being ComputerDiva, you would think I would have a little bit more than I do, but I just haven't had time to dive into it yet. But one of the things that I started with, and this was probably at least a year ago, and I'm going to share a screen with you. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, there it is right there. Let me get this up here. So the first piece of technology I got into was my thermostat. I have a Nest thermostat. And the nice thing about the Nest thermostat is it's fully digital. It's super, super simple to operate. It's just, you know, a round sphere that sits on the wall in place of your regular thermostat. You just turn the dial up and down, depending on whether you want the temperature to go up or down. It's got a heat setting and an air conditioning setting, and all I have to do is switch it twice a year from winter to summer and summer to winter, and it works great for me. Now, the nice thing about this is that it also has an iPhone app. And if you are someone who does not live alone, you have a spouse, you have children, you have a roommate, you have a significant other, you might have a parent who is with you, you know that there's always a constant battle for the thermostat. Not everybody likes operating in the same temperature environment. So the iPhone app is awesome, and this is exactly why I got my Nest. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I don't have the plugin. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to show this to you. Here is my iPhone app. Let's see if we can get it without the glare here. So it says that I am currently at 70 degrees. Well, there's this nice little up and down arrow here. 70 degrees is way too warm for me. That is just way too much. So what I do is, you know, my mom lives with me, and what happened to for those of you who think I'm looking really strange, my video just disappeared from the screen, but I can see me up in the corner over here. So anyway, I just have this little down arrow, and I'm going to press it twice, and I'm going to go down to 68, which is probably at the high level of my threshold for heat. So I am, so now I'm at 68. So it's really cool because, when mom walks up to the Nest, she doesn't use her iPhone app. She'll walk up to the Nest and she'll crank it up. Usually in the morning when she gets up, she cranks it up without paying attention to where it's set. The heat goes on. I'm laying in bed. I wake up. All of a sudden, I realize, wow, it's really hot in here. I just grab my phone. I ratchet it down. Nobody knows that I've done that. Everybody's happy. Everybody's comfortable. Mom puts on a sweater. She doesn't realize what I've done. It's awesome. So this was my first dive into smart home technology. My second dive was this little device here. It's called the Amazon Echo Dot. Now, Amazon makes these, and they're very similar to Siri on the iPhone. It is a digital personal assistant, if you want to call it that, and you talk to it, and you ask it questions, and it will respond to you and give you your answers. Her particular name is called Alexa. I really thought she would respond to that. So let me give you a quick demonstration. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:11 p.m.
8:11 p.m. Let me turn that up in case you guys couldn't hear that. I'll do this again. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:11 p.m.
Awesome. Alexa, what's the temperature?
In Vancouver, it's 30 degrees with clear skies. Tonight, you can look for mostly clear skies with a low of 18 degrees.
Ooh, 18 degrees. Yikes. I might have to turn that Nest up to 70 degrees before I go to bed. So let's see. What else does she do? Let me just get my little notes out here. She's really interesting because, one of the things I like about this Echo Dot is the fact that I can wake up in the middle of the night and I try and guess at what time it is, but I don't really know. And in order for me to figure out what time it is to see my clock, I've got to sit up in bed. I've got to turn around and look at the clock, which is on my nightstand over to my right here, and then read the time. And usually that can be a little difficult if I don't put my glasses on. So my other option is to pick up my iPhone and turn it on and see what time it is, but I'm not too fond of doing that. All I have to do really is lay in bed and say, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 8:12 p.m.
So that's how I figure out what time it is in the middle of the night. The other things that she can do, she's got all sorts of apps which you would call skills. Not really apps, but they're skills. So you can teach Alexa to do certain skills. So one of the skills that I've downloaded onto my Echo Dot it's called Focus Word. And in order to invoke that skill, I'm just going to say, Alexa, open Focus Word.
The focus word is of holding on and letting go. Today, focus on finding balance.
Alexa, open Focus Word.
The focus word is courtesy. Courtesy costs nothing, but buys everything. Today, focus on courtesy.
So I did that a second time because she kind of skipped out on the word the first time, which I think was balance. So the second time it was courtesy. But the cool thing about this is you can wake up in the morning and you can ask what the focus word is. And that's the word that you want to focus on for the day. And it's usually a positive word. And it's really kind of a nice thing to focus on one positive thing as you go throughout the day. So I really like the focus word. The other thing I use Alexa for is, I'm going to show you how to do this. Alexa, start Peaceful Habit.
Welcome to Peaceful Habit. You can ask for a 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute, or 40-minute meditation. Tell me, how long would you like to meditate for?
5 minutes.
Please find a comfortable and relaxed position. I will play a bell 3 times at the beginning and also 3 times at the end of your meditation. If you are meditating for 10 minutes or more, I will also play a single chime every 5 minutes during your practice to keep you on track.
So there you have it. This is a really cool app because if you wake up maybe in the middle of the night, or maybe you're sitting in your comfortable chair in the evening and you want to do a little bit of meditation, you've got this app. It's the 3 bells to start. Then it's pure silence for the next 5 minutes. And if you choose to do a 10, 15, 20-minute meditation, every 5 minutes, those 3 bells will chime. So you can kind of keep track of your timing and how far you are into your meditation, which is really cool. So I'm going to say, Alexa, stop. So she'll stop that skill, and 5 minutes from now, we won't hear those 3 bells. The other nice thing about Alexa is I said her name. She's responding. And she's going to come back here in a couple of seconds and say something, I think. Something to the effect of, I didn't understand. Maybe she's not. The other thing I like about her is the fact that you can have her read you a news report. So, and you can predetermine what sources that news comes from. It could be from ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox. I have her read the Daily Skim report. So I will say, Alexa, read the Flash report.
Here's your flash briefing. In the Skim, quote of the day, I repeat, selling mega sandwiches in Borgo Pio is a disgrace. One cardinal's opinion of the McDonald's that recently opened near the Vatican. Apparently quarter pounders with cheese are sinful in more ways than one.
Alexa, stop. So when Alexa is in the middle of doing something, Alexa, stop. When she's in the middle of doing something for you, all you have to do is say her name and then stop, and she will stop. Or you could say her name and then pause. One of the things I like doing with this is she will also read your books on Audible. So I was recently painting one of the rooms in my house, and I put her up in that room, and I had her read to me one of my Audible books. And when I got to the point where I needed to go downstairs and get more paint, all I had to do was say her name and pause. So I went downstairs, got my paint, came back upstairs, and I said her name, resume. And she resumed the reading of the book right where she left off. She will also play music for you. There's a whole host of things. She will play Jeopardy. If you ask her to play Jeopardy, she will give you 6 questions. There's only 6 questions. Is it 6 or 5? I think it might be 5 questions. And apparently they are the reject questions from the Jeopardy shows. So you know how in Jeopardy they have the 5 categories up at the top, and they have, I think, 5 questions for each one? I think it's 5. What she will read you in this Jeopardy game is whatever the 6th question was that the writers thought up of for that category, but was rejected for the show. So it's kind of fun to play that. You get 6 questions, 5 or 6 questions every day, and every day it's a new set. So kind of a cool way to test your brain power. So anyway, that is the Amazon Echo. I've got one upstairs and I have one downstairs. This is my upstairs one. I usually keep it in my bedroom. I would like to get a second one for my office, and I have one downstairs in my family room. It actually belongs to Mom, and I'm teaching her how to use it. So these will also pair with what are called smart plugs. And smart plugs are electrical plugs that you can plug into the wall, and they have an electrical plug inside of them, and it also hooks up to your Wi-Fi. So I have one in my bedroom that I have configured by itself, but it's not integrated with the Echo yet. When it is, probably this weekend when I have time, I will pair the two, and I've got my night table lamp plugged into it, and I'll be able to say her name, turn off bedroom light, or her name, Alexa, turn on bedroom light. Now see, she's responding because I said her name. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop.
What to say when you actually consider going to Coachella after seeing a lineup. Speaking of headliners, yesterday...
I don't know what she's doing. Alexa, stop. Thank you.
I'm not sure what you meant by that question. Currently, in Vancouver, it's 30 degrees with clear skies. Tonight, you can look for mostly clear skies, with a low of 18 degrees. That's all from your flash briefing.
Thank you. So that is my dive right now into smart home technology, and I'm sure I will be expanding upon that, and as I do, I will let you know. Next topic, I wanted to talk to you about my blog postings. I'm really stepping it up on my blog postings, and I'm trying to post a lot more content than I typically have in the past. Typically in the past, it's been a real hit or miss. But I've realized that there's a lot of information out there that could be beneficial to everybody, so I'm really trying to step it up. I did 2 blog postings in December, and they are posted at ComputerDiva.biz, and I'm just going to go to that website real quick, and I might be able to share the screen with you. I'm not sure. So if you go to ComputerDiva.biz and you click on the News tab, that's where you're going to see my blog postings. And I am almost there. Let's see. And let's see if I can actually share. I think it installed the plugin while I was chatting with you. Share screen. Is it doing it? I don't think it is. Maybe the plugin isn't quite finished yet. So anyway, I'll just kind of talk you through this. ComputerDiva.biz, click on the News tab. The 2 blog postings that I did in December, which were also news articles in my newsletter that I'm trying to send out twice a month. The first one was how to stay safe while being social. And it basically concentrated on Facebook. And basically 7 ways to secure your Facebook without missing out on the fun. And it lists the 7 ways there. So I want to encourage you all to go to my blog postings and read through that. You could probably pick up a couple of tips on staying safe while being on Facebook. The other blog post that I had, I usually try and do one for my residential customers, which was the Facebook one. And then I try and do a post for my business customers, just to kind of balance things out. The post I did last month for my business customers was 11 reasons to upgrade to Office 365 today. Office 365 is a Microsoft product, and it is the latest iteration of Microsoft Office. And it is basically, it's a subscription basis on Microsoft Office, and you can buy an annual subscription for $99, which covers 5 computers. So you can install Microsoft Office on 5 computers, so $99 a year. Or you can buy the personal edition, which is, I think, roughly $60 a year for 1 computer. You can also install it on your smart devices. So if you wanted to install it on an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device, you certainly could. And it gives you the whole suite of Microsoft Office, which is pretty awesome. I have kind of concentrated on the business version of Office 365, and I have a particular vendor that I sell this through, and the vendor is AppRiver. And Office 365 for the business environment gives you not only the Office suite of products, but it also gives you Exchange-based email, which is the best type of email you can possibly get. There is POP3 email, which is basically the old standard of email where you set up your Outlook client and it goes out to your email server, picks up your email, brings it back onto your computer and stores it on your computer. And then either leaves it on the email server, say at Comcast or Yahoo or Gmail, or it will delete it from your email account on those servers. The newer technology is called IMAP, I-M-A-P, and that basically says configure your Outlook or whatever email client you're using, Mac Mail, Thunderbird, what have you, and go out and sync your email client with the email server. And that way, if you configure not only your computer, but your iPhone, your iPad, your Android device to do the same thing, now all of your devices are staying completely in sync in terms of your email. If you delete an email from one device, it will delete it from another. IMAP has its issues as well. POP3, I think, is probably a little bit more stable than IMAP, even though it's older technology. IMAP, in the last couple of years, from my experience, has been pretty problematic. Exchange type of email it's a Microsoft product. Microsoft created a product called Exchange Server, and it's for business class email. And it used to be that if you wanted Exchange type email, you had to have a physical Exchange server in your office. In my day job that I had before I created ComputerDiva, we had an Exchange server. I administered that server, and the email was pretty flawless, very few issues with it. Well, that has now been, what shall I say, webinized and brought into the cloud and made available to just about everybody for a really affordable price. So Office 365 in a business environment will give you that type of email, where it also allows you to share your calendars, share your contacts, set up common spaces, meeting rooms, common assets. I have a client who uses that for cameras. They set up a separate asset for each camera, so they always know where their cameras are. So really kind of cool. So that is that business blog post, 11 Reasons to Upgrade to Office 365 Today. It's a really good read for my business clients. So check that out. The other blog post I want to talk about is what's coming up in January. So I actually have 4 blog posts in January. I actually thought I had 4 in December, but I only see 2 on my website. Let's see. The Office 365, and then the Staying Safe While Being Social. And I'm trying to refresh this screen here to go back and see, and my internet is running just a little bit slow. Anyway, I thought I had 4 in December. Apparently I only had 2. There were actually 4 that were created, so I'll have to go back and find those. So the 4 that I've got coming up in January: why you should never use a free email address for your business. And the other one that, excuse me, but my screen is, oh, okay. I thought the video ended again. It's been a while since I recorded a Diva Talk show, so the various things that the screen is doing, I have kind of forgotten that it does this stuff, so bear with me here. The second blog post: why your business should upgrade to a managed antivirus system. I will talk more about that in my next show 2 weeks from tomorrow. Why do computers slow down over time? This is a blog posting that can be used for either my residential customers or my business customers, and it's probably one of the most common questions I get. So it is now a blog post. And the 4th blog post that I'll have in January is, will that click cost you thousands? And basically what I'm referring to here is clicking and getting some sort of virus on your system, getting some sort of ransomware virus. But the article will be really, really interesting. So that's probably going to be the last one for January. What I really try and do is post an article every Monday. I didn't do it this past Monday because it was the 2nd of January, day after New Year's. Everybody was up late on Sunday night celebrating, and nobody would have woken up to read a blog post on my website. So I didn't even bother posting it. But for the next 4 Mondays, I will have a blog post. So computerdiva.biz, and then click on the news tab. So with that said, that is it for my show tonight. So I just want to thank you all for coming to my YouTube page and watching this show. I really appreciate it. And feel free to put any comments in underneath the show. If you have any questions, let me know. You can reach me at Mary@computerdiva.biz. And I also want to give a special thanks to New 72 Media, especially Kelly Lair, who produces this show behind the scenes. And I am extremely grateful to Kelly and to New 72. So with that said, thank you very much. I will be back again in 2 weeks. So go out there and make the best of it. Bye-bye.